Patrick, your story is a bit different than Martin's.
First of all, I want to thank God for enabling me to be here. I married 2004, and immediately I married, there's a problem that cropped in. My wife started bleeding, heavy bleeding. We went to the doctor. The doctor injected her with a medicine, in other words, to stop the bleeding. But the bleeding continued. We went now to another doctor for gynecologist. My wife was diagnosed with fibroids. And those fibroids, the doctor said that they were multiple. Multiples means that they were everywhere. And the doctor could not be able to extract them. Then the year 2006, there is some that started to grow on our left cheek. That was a small swelling. It grew big. 2007, we went to Kenyatta. It was removed. And that time it was not recognized anything. They said just that it is a normal tumor. I can remember 2013, my wife, you could see my wife as if she is pregnant. But it was those fibroids that were growing big. 2014, Dika level 5, we managed to remove my wife to be removed those fibroids. But unfortunately, it was removed together with the womb. 2015, the tumor that was removed on our left cheek started reoccurring. It grew again. Tukaenda tena Kenyatta. When we went to Kenyatta, now the doctors said that they have to remove it. And they don't think that it will come again. The first day that she went for operation, she went at 8 a.m. But coming back to the ward again, it was something to do with 8 p.m. Because it reached a point that nikaona ni kama my wife ameaga dunia. Paka I stormed the ward. Nikawambia, muende muniletee my wife. Then when she came, she came with so many pipes being put through her nose. Because that time she could not be able to feed through the mouth, because the operation was a very major operation. In fact, walichimba mpaka wakahacha hole, which is still there that I'm working to reconstruct that face. That biopsy that was taken to laboratory, it was diagnosed to be a cancer. When she went for the results, I can remember I was working at Ruiru. She called me and she told me that the doctors have now diagnosed this is a cancer. She cried over the phone, but I really rebuked the cancer. I told her that cancer will not kill you. She told me, no, I'm going to die. No, now my life is finished. I don't have a child. Even your people, what are they saying? Nikamwambia, I'm the one who married you. And kama singekuwa nakupenda, ningekuacha. But I rebuked. So we started another journey for chemotherapy and radiotherapy. But when you look at her face, in fact, it's not that now she cannot face people properly, because the doctors interfered with one of the nerve. There's a nerve of the speech. The mouth now is not able to open properly. We went to Texas Cancer. She was given that 3 radiotherapy sessions. Alichomwa that 3. Then there is a sindano. I don't know what is. It is the chemo. 7. Paka nywele zake zote zikaisha kabisa. So she was left with a hole. Kuna shimo iko pale sasa. She pushed me to marry. In fact, it reached a point where she told me now to sleep with her sister, but I told her, no, I will not. I will not.
Patrick, I want to ask you, because I think you're a very strong man. You've been a very supportive husband to your wife. But how do you cope? As Patrick, how do you cope?
One, I'm a man of God. Most of the time I read the Word of God. It is the Word of God that encourages me. That I know a character like Job. Job passed through difficulties, but by the end of the day, he was a winner. He became a winner. But there is a time that my wife told me that the problem that we have passed through, it is more than Job, because the wife of Job had a womb. But now I don't have a womb. But nikamwambia, God can make a way where there is no way.
I want to just bring back Daktari, because we've had some very powerful stories here tonight. So what would you say to that person who's walking through hell right now, and how can the rest of us support them?
Thank you again, Patrick and Job and Martin. Suffering is inevitable. I think every one of us goes through suffering one way or the other. But the question to ask ourselves is, have we allowed this suffering to define us? Or are we going to say this suffering will not define us and allow ourselves to look for a cause that is bigger than us?
And I think really looking at the guests we have on the show tonight, Dennis, Hannah, Patrick, Martin, none of their suffering has defined them.
None of them has defined them.
Meeting any of you on the street, nobody would guess. You all look like strong, able, happy people.
Yes.
Yeah.
And what I see is they made a decision within themselves to decide these are the circumstances that I found myself in. They are permanent, but I will not allow them to define me. And so they have looked for things that they are doing which are beyond them. They have decided, I have made a decision, and that's an attitude that people make. The other thing I've seen is forgiveness. All these people have gone through pain in the hands of people who love them or who they love dearly, but they've decided to forgive and to let go. The minute we forgive, we begin to heal. It's also important to know that forgiveness is not always an event. If I stepped on your feet, Tamina, you would forgive me immediately. But some of the things they've gone through means that they have taken time. It's a process that they have gone through of forgiving. And when you're able to forgive, then you begin to look at things differently.